A media briefing to announce cabinet decisions took place in Colombo today.
Views were expressed on the Prime Minister's official visit to China.
We
have a Chinese debt of $8 billion. The investments are not sufficient. During this official visit, the government hopes to have discussions to increase the investments. A decision has been reached to recommence the Port City project. We will negotiate a $125 million penalty that a Chinese state firm is seeking from Sri Lanka for suspending work on the Port City development project. Some questioned as to how Sri Lanka-China relations would be built when there is an issue like this. A statement from the Chinese foreign minister notes that this is a normal thing and that there are collisions in businesses. We need to further strengthen the relations between Sri Lanka and China. By the last quarter of 2015, we had an increase of 2.5% in our economic growth. We are now in a state that by the end of 2016, we can hit an increase in our economical growth by 4.8%. We control the rate of the dollar in our country by chipping money in from the reserve. So when we constantly kept putting money in from the reserves, our export incomes gradually decreased. So the exporters started putting pressure on the government's shoulders on various occasions. We asked them not to pull money off the reserves, but the central bank has been doing this for some time now. However, now this is on a floating rate. We will present this by next week at the discussion on how we are going to manage our economy.
Journalists raise questions on loans that can be taken from the International Monetary Fund.
The IMF agreement will be finalized next week. We are hoping for 1.5 billion, but we will definitely receive 1 billion.
Views were expressed on airlines during the briefing.
We have a loan payment of 998 million from Sri Lankan Airlines. In 2009, Sri Lankan Airlines received profits from Emirates. Taxes were paid. But due to the weaknesses of the administration and by the question that was raised by our government, we now have a loan of 998 million within this period of time. We do not have any resistance to this. With the shifts in policies, the government has discussed with both sides by taking different courses of action, and by making changes in the management, this will be shifted onto a completely different avenue.